Observations of Earth's biodiversity, its history, evolution, and function, has revealed an incredible amount of interconnectedness between the species occupying Earth, and between those species and the Earth itself. The more we study it, the clearer we see that life is really an intricate system of smaller moving parts, ranging in size from the atoms inside the molecules of your body to entire ecosystems. Our species represents just one piece, just one moving part within that system. However, due to our population size and ingenuity, we have the ability to influence the rest of that system, for the better or worse, more than any other species on the planet. As a result, to ensure the survival of our own species and the rest of the planet, we have to behave as if we are responsible for protecting the physical Earth and its biodiversity. This idea of protecting the Earth and its ability to support life, and prolonging its ability to do so, is called sustainability. When we act with Earth's sustainability in mind, we behave in ways that protect Earth's biodiversity and that maintain balance in the physical and chemical environments. What are the major threats facing biodiversity today? They are habitat loss, invasive species, pollution, population growth, and overharvesting, which can be summarized with the acronym HIPPO, or HIPPO. Habitat loss refers to the destruction, degradation, or fragmentation of habitats, or the places where organisms live. Habitat destruction refers to a total removal of the habitat. Degradation, to a loss in quality, and fragmentation, to when circumstances break habitat into smaller, discontinuous pieces. While habitat destruction presents the most obvious threat, the other two can also devastate a community, because those species have evolved in reaction to the availability of specific resources and available space. When those conditions change, most species cannot survive. Individuals usually face much greater threats at the edge of environments, so when habitats fragment and they find themselves forced closer to the edge, that edge effect gets worse. Invasive species are any species not native to a particular environment that come to occupy it. They're foreign species that come to invade native habitats. Often, humans cause these invasions, sometimes intentionally and sometimes accidentally. Humans often bring animals and plants with them when they move or travel to help them colonize or settle. Sometimes they come as pets or decorations, and sometimes as a way of combating other species. Other times, they transport the organisms accidentally, with small animals like rodents or insects, plant seeds, funguses, or bacteria acting as stowaways in their luggage, on their ship or plane, or on or inside the person. When they arrive, intentionally or accidentally, when species invade new communities, they reintroduce competition and make it harder for the native species to survive. Many of the plants you see around you, and many of the common birds perched outside in the trees, are actually invasive species from other parts of the world that have outcompeted the native ones. Population growth refers to the growth of the human population. The amount of humans on the planet has increased significantly in the past few hundred years due to improving medical treatments, increased ability to predict and respond to natural disasters, and improved hygiene. Where at one time living 50 years would make a person incredibly long-lived, now most industrialized countries consider 50 part of the prime of life. Our particular hominid species is about 200,000 years old, and our population climbed until it reached a rough carrying capacity of about 300 to 400 million people worldwide. However, with the booms in medicine and community infrastructure over the past few hundred years, our population has skyrocketed past that old carrying capacity to about 7 billion people. While technology has changed the carrying capacity of our species, the increased population size has also caused us to intrude more on the rest of Earth's biodiversity. We need more land to live on and collect resources from. We need more resources, and we produce more waste. All of this together means that we destroy more and leave less for the rest of the living things on the planet. We can't do much about the size of our population, but we can work to be as efficient as possible and intrude as little as possible on the rest of the planet. Second P, pollution, refers to our production of waste materials, misuse of chemicals, and struggle to control their dispersal. Pollution can refer to solid waste littered on the ground, to liquid chemicals finding their way into the water system, or to gases entering the atmosphere. Whatever the form, though, they alter the environment's chemical composition, which can affect how the environment behaves and the organisms forced to deal with the changes. Pollution can change weather patterns, alter how solar radiation affects the Earth's surface, or poison or inhibit the biological processes of living things. Pollution isn't just throwing your trash on the ground. The majority of it takes place on an industrial or community level. Noise and light pollution around the highways and cities has become increasingly problematic as well. Final major threat over harvesting refers to taking things from the environment, whether they be natural resources mined from the ground, animals hunted, or plants harvested. When our population began to grow, we as a species needed more from the earth to support ourselves, which meant we needed to cut down more wood, hunt more animals, and mine more metals. These practices not only impact the species being harvested or hunted, but their entire ecosystem. Removing or reducing the population of certain species can have far-reaching effects on the flow of energy through a community's food web, and impact the different interactions unique to that community. In many places, the maintenance of certain communities actually depends on hunting now, because of damage our past actions did to those communities. White-tailed deer are hunted across the U.S. because human civilization has reduced the land available for them to live, and hunting has reduced the predators that used to control the population, so they more and more frequently wander through populated towns. Overharvesting can also destroy undiscovered resources before science can make use of them, such as chemical compounds found in plants or spiders that could one day serve as new medicines. No one action that we as individuals or that a government does can solve all of these problems. But we have to work to live as efficiently as possible, to be as mindful as possible of how all our actions impact the Earth's sustainability. A cultural change across the globe is necessary, but such a change can start at home. What are some things you can do to help?